Can anyone hear me now? Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Oh, it's, you know what it is? It was the New York Football Giants trying to keep me offline. Can we hear me now? Can we hear it now? Can we hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can we hear it? Do we have any audio? Do we have audio? Hoot hoot, working. Camera still doesn't fucking work. John Mara trying to keep me off the motherfucking platform because of what I'm going to say about the New York Football Giants. That's what it is. And that's what I'm going with. Saboteurs. Sabotage. Everyone knows that the word sabotage comes from the Japanese, or was it Chinese, where they took their shoes, their sabots, and threw them into the mills to stop the grinding, which was then known as the word of sabotage. I'm blaming John Mara for all this. Not the Giants. Why? He's going to get plenty of blame for the fucking Giants. But I'm blaming John Mara for sabotaging this show. He's getting a letter. Tell me why I can't get this Giant team to win anything. You know, when we went to Munich, we went to Germany. I jokingly said that this was that this literally was the giant equivalent of telling the Germans, screw you for World War I and World War II. You were bad. You get to watch the Giants and this other team known as the Panthers. Now, going to this game, you were thinking at 2-7. The Panthers are a horrible team. They are god awful. They are just not the epitome of an NFL franchise. Bryce Young gets benched for the red rifle, and then the red rifle gets hurt, and he's got to come back in, and he wins the game. But then at the end of the day, we look at this team, and there's no way we could lose this game. That's what I kept thinking. There's no way we could lose this game. And there's no way that we should lose this game. Well, you know what? All that shit just comes to fruition as usual. You knew there was going to be a way that we were going to screw this up. You knew it. We all knew it. We could see it. That first half, we were like, oh, dear Lord, they're going to lose the fucking game. Pardon my French for cursing, because I can't get my damn camera to work. We knew we were going to lose. It was done. It was over. It was the epitome of a disaster. We watched Daniel Jones be Daniel Jones. Hey, listen, we're getting in the red zone. No, we need to do. We need to throw an interception. Hey, listen, we have no blindside awareness. We have no thought process in reference to having any feel in the pocket. What should happen then? Hey, I know what should happen. We should get a sack. And then people are trying to blame Tyrone Tracy. Bill Parcells said it best long time ago, years ago. And I've heard other coaches say it. You don't lose on one play at the end of the game. There are 7 or 8 plays in the game itself that you need to make so you don't come down to that one play. So you can't blame Tyrone Tracy. The kid's playing his heart out. He's playing out of position. He's only been in the position for a little over a year. You are going to have to go through the growing pains. But we have been going through the growing pains now of Daniel Jones for 6 years. 6 years we've had to listen to this. 6 years we've had to develop this. 6 years we had to feel this. 6 years. 6 years for the love of God. 6 years. And people are still trying to make some mistakes and excuses for him. And some people are like, well, it's not all his fault. Okay, well, whose fault is it? Is it the franchise? Is it the general manager? Is it the head coach? And I love it because you still get the shit. Well, we can't keep going through head coaches and general managers. We can't keep doing that. Why not? It's been 3 years. You had the foresight of Daboll and Schoen saying to themselves, you know what we can do? We can make Daniel Jones into a winning quarterback. So we're going to give him $160 million. I've said this once before. The moment that ink dried on that contract, Daniel Jones was no longer a Gettleman pick. He was a Daniel Jones and Schoen and Daboll guy. That was it. As soon as that ink dried, Not even a second after. And I still have people sitting there watching. Well, you got to keep giving him. You got to keep giving it to him. You got to keep. We got. I love some of the beat writers. Well, you got to give him some time. They inherited a mess. Yeah, and they made it fucking worse. One moron beat writer was like, well, the Giants won 9 games. They went 7-2. And you know how that is. And I had to point out to them, they also went 2-5-1. They also went 2-5-1. And that's in that same wonderful season. You don't stop Jacksonville at the 1. That's a loss. What's good? Titans don't miss the field goal. That's a loss. There was so many things going wrong that season for a period of time. And we've said it before, the football is a weird object. That's why they make it the way they do, because it bounces a strange way. It goes different ways. It goes different directions. You never know which way it's going to fall. Sometimes you're always going to get the bounces. Other times you are not. You're not going to get the bounces. And when those bounces go away, bad teams revert to what they are, which are bad teams. I've said this before. I lived through the 70s. I lived through the Andy Robustella eras as general manager. I lived through the drama. I saw the highs. It reminds me of 81 with Ray Perkins, where he got the Giants at 9-7. They went to the playoffs, and then they didn't sniff the playoffs again until 84. After he went over to Alabama to take over for Bear Bryant, Ray Perkins. And then we almost got Bill Parcells fired after that 3-12-1 season. The only difference was Bill Parcells was a head coach. Bill Parcells was a leader of men. Bill Parcells even said after that first season, because he listened to everyone, he didn't do what he wanted to do. And he says, if I'm going to get fired, I am doing it my way. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. So he did it his way. 84, they go 9-7. Phil Simms, first quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards in Giant history. They make the playoffs. Rest is NFL history. But no, what do we got? We got the Shane and Knott and the Daboll. I would have left them in Germany. The Mets fired Willie Randolph once on a plane coming back from a West Coast trip. I would have sat there with Daboll, Shane, and Daniel Jones and tell them, you know what, guys, I don't want, guys, there's a change in plans. We're leaving from runway 12. So maybe you want to go to the other side of the airport. And then I'd run the entire fucking team over to runway 11 and fly home. As a season ticket holder, I am disgusted. And I'm going to try to get to everyone. I see Cody. What quarterback do you want, Roy? I got Kevin. I got Todd. I got Rocky. I got Juan. I got everyone heading in here, guys. I'm going to try to get to everyone as always. I was trying not swing culture. I was trying not to be upset. I did the video yesterday, and I said that the Giants should just leave the entire 53-man roster in Germany, go over to Stuttgart, go find a American football B team and bring them back and call them the Giants. But that's painting with a broad brush. We've talked about this before. James Williams put it in the chat too. I got such a fucking headache from this team. We literally, at the beginning of the season, we were ranked 31st, and the Panthers were ranked 32nd in regards to talent in the league and rosters and everything else. So they trade us Brian Burns, their best player, and we're still ranked 31st. Brian Burns had his one sack. He had his moment. He got to do a Spider-Man. Fuck Spider-Man. Overrated character anyways. Thor could kick his ass. I don't know anything about comics. I think he would. Thor's got a hammer, so I think he could hit Spider-Man in the head and kill him. I don't know. Great. Now I lost my train of thought. It's just time. You have a bye week. You have the opportunity. You have this cook in the kitchen who's buying I should rephrase. You have this guy who's buying the ingredients for the cook. Too bad the ingredients are spoiled. Too bad the ingredients, for the most part, are not ripe. You still can't stop the fucking run. I have been saying this since preseason. I have been saying this since training camp. I've been saying this since the Brian Burns trade. You know what you need to do if you are on offense playing the Giant defense? And this is before I knew Shane Bowen was going to kind of change his philosophy, which was brilliant. He changed his philosophy, which was great. But here's what I kept telling people. You know what you just need to do? Just run right at Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. Just run right at him. Just run right at them. Why? Because neither of them can play the run worth shit. And I don't care what Carl Banks says. I love what Carl Banks. You know, you got to show me more about what you're saying about how they're not being productive. Oh, I can show you 2 and 8. And a defense that can't stop the run. You gave Hubbard, how many yards did you give Hubbard? 148 yards? And what did Bryce Young throw for, like 126? They have no wide receivers. They really don't have a good defense. They have a good guard and a good tackle. Their quarterback is suspect at best. Kurt Warner hates the Giants. I'd hate the Giants too if I was Kurt Warner. But this is the problem, guys. Here is the problem. Here is the quagmire wrapped in a riddle. The Giants just aren't good. And they haven't been good for a long time. And Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, and all these other idiots are responsible. And I can say that because I'm a season ticket holder. And we're never going to get good until you get someone in here who knows what they're doing. I've said this before. Maybe Belichick is the answer. Maybe Belichick is. Hey, Kareem, what's up? Maybe he is the answer. Maybe Bill Belichick is the answer. I've said this before. I don't want him as the head coach. I don't want him as a general manager. I want him as president of football operations. I want him to pick the general manager. I want him, the general manager, to pick the head coach. And I want Belichick to oversee everything. Kind of what Parcells did in Miami. Oh, Bill doesn't want this fucking mess. Bill makes fun of the Giants. Bill sits there counting his Super Bowl rings, and a couple of them are on the Giants' hand. You've just reached a point. What moves would you make? Oh, I'll tell you what moves I would make, Cody. I would fire the guy that's the head coach because he's not good. I would fire the general manager because of the fact that he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He thinks his farts don't stink. He doesn't want, you could tell by, and I get, the worst thing was that fucking, that Hard Knocks, the worst thing ever. You got to view into what Joe Schoen thought process was. I know it's only a snapshot in time, but he didn't listen to the people around him. You went out and drafted a wide receiver, 6th overall, to fix a quarterback. When in fucking conventional NFL history has that worked? Never. It doesn't work. There's no thought process with there. You don't go out and say to yourself, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a wide receiver and he's going to fix my quarterback. Really? Because your quarterback can't throw 15 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson, Papa Smurf, is jumping around because he's been playing like Smurfette all year, jumping around trying to say, yo, I'm open. This is the first time I've seen the open field. Come on. Can we also stop the shit with the Wan'Dale Robinson? He was a mistake. I said it during the draft. If you're getting pulled down from behind at Kentucky, you're not going to cut it in the NFL. You're not a good slot. You're not a good third down back. You are a guy that's not going to get you any yak because you want to know why? You need quickness and speed to get around people in this league. Poor Malik Neighbors has the quickness and the speed, but only averages 10 yards of reception. The ball only travels 6.6 yards to him to make the reception. And then he's only got a 4-yard to yak. I've said this before, and I said this on the video yesterday. Somewhere Jason, I know not somewhere, he's on the network. Jason Garrett's laughing at this. Jason Garrett's like sitting back going, yep, I'm the motherfucker who couldn't build an offense. No, I built an offense on what I had. And what I had is a bad quarterback. That's what I had. And I think people need to get that. Alligator's arms, no speed. I like that. Wan'Dale Robinson, you drafted Wan'Dale Robinson as redundancy for Kadarius Toney, which was a mistake. We have so many mistakes made. So many mistakes. You didn't even sniff a quarterback. And I'm supposed to sit here in year 4 and say, Shane, I trust your opinion. I trust your opinion so much. Why don't you go out and draft us a quarterback? Because I trust your opinion so much. Tell me why. OG says, why isn't Daniel Jones getting the same criticism as a black running quarterback? Because all Daniel Jones does is run the ball well. I love it because people are like, did you see that? Daniel Jones put his head down and bowled some guy over. Really? Because I'm paying $160 million for him to throw the ball down the fucking road. I'm not paying him to be Tim Tebow. Listen, Tim Tebow won a playoff game. Tim Tebow beat a good defense in Pittsburgh. He won a playoff game. No Diet Coke for you. What's up, Davey? Guys, I don't know where to start in the chat here. Because there's so many people in the chat right now. There's so many good comments here. I'm just, collectively, I just want to take a deep breath. And I want to just think what we can do to make this better. Because I can't see this getting any worse. Actually, I can see this getting worse. I'm trying to find some sound effects. So I've said it before. I literally want to find Joe Shane, and I love it because people are like, if you saw Shane and Daboll, you wouldn't say shit. Well, you don't fucking know me. I got a big ass mouth. And I always tell people the same thing. The person you see here is the same person you see in public. I'm only tamer here sometimes. I want to find Joe Shane and Brian Daboll and Mayor and tell them.
I want to tell them what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spiny-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
I need more than Tylenol. You know what the funny, and I've said this, it's not funny because I don't like making fun of people because they're if they have a weight issue, but he's on that Ozempic stuff. Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll's gaining weight. He's eating through the drug. The drug is not something that you use to fix the mental problems, or not mental problems, but fix the problems you have emotionally that's leading you to eat. What the drug does, it just suppresses your appetite, and it's actually used for people with diabetes. But no, now that but he's actually gaining weight. He's actually eating through the drug. That's how bad this is. That's how bad this is for all of us. I got to turn my monitor. And I can't see because I don't have my glasses and the screen's too small and I can't get the camera to work and the Giants suck. And I don't like anyone right now. I don't like John Mara. I don't like Daboll. I don't like Shane. I'm not even sure I like Santa. Steve Tisch needs to come in and kick ass. He's a 50% owner. He's 50% responsibility for this stupidity. If I'm part of the ownership, I would be so pissed at everything that is going on in this situation. And I would tell people, you know what? You need to get out of the way, John. Bazooka Joe had it best on his bubble gum. Lead follower, get the hell out of my way. Because I'm supposed to sit there and think Shane, who looks at quarterbacks Shane is a tire kicker. Anyone that's ever worked like in the automobile industry, I never have, but I have a lot of friends that work in the automobile industry, and I got a friend who owns a dealership. He'll tell you there's the tire kickers. Tire kickers come in, and they come in every week, and they kick the tires on shit, but they don't buy anything. Joe Shane kicks the tires on quarterbacks every week, but he doesn't buy anything. I'm going to enhance my chi. I'm going to woosah. No, I'm not. Fuck them all. I'm tired of it. I can't, as a season ticket holder, as a family that's been a season ticket holder since 76. I was there the day they opened up the Meadowlands and that loss to Dallas. I lived through the Craig Morton eras. I lived through Danny Cannell. I lived through Jeff Rutledge. I lived through Scott Bruner. I lived through Kent Graham. I lived through Kurt Warner. I lived through Kerry Collins. I lived through Mark Reed. I lived through Joe Pisarcik. I've lived through all of this. I have never seen an organization latch themselves on like the Blob to a quarterback who's no good and then blame everyone else in the creation for the fault of the stupidity of them continuously putting their faith in a guy who can't play the game, who has no feel for the game. You feel bad for Daniel Jones because he's got no feel for football. Maybe he's good at hockey. Maybe he's good at hockey because he ain't good at football. He wouldn't even be a good replacement player. What's up, Joe Reb? Good morning, fellas. Good morning. Tell me why this team sucks. Yes, I lived through John McShay Sr. as well. Norm Snead. Well, Norm Snead was actually a pretty good. Norm Snead was a good quarterback. Scott Bruner won a playoff game. Scott Bruner threw 3 touchdowns in a playoff game. I think he only had like 7 entire completions, but he won a playoff game too. What does Mr. Hartman says? Tim, do you think Ward or any of the quarterback at 25 is going to ball out like Stroud and Daniels have so far? We're going to draft ourselves in the same position we are right now. It's funny. I keep looking at these quarterbacks, and I keep falling more and more in love with Cam Ward. I really do. More and more I watch. Even in the loss, he held on to the ball way too long. That last play, the fumble. Even in the loss, I still like the way he plays. I still like the way he looks downfield. I still like the way he's. I know he's got 3 Biletnikoff finalists on his team. I get it, but he just has something. And to get beat by Bryce Young, who threw for like 126. He didn't throw for anything like in the second half. They fucking Texans up 10-0, went into a prevent. Because you want to know why? Because they knew, like Daniel Jones on a Saturday night, the Giants ain't scoring. The best quarterback in Germany yesterday was the 50-year-old Andy Dalton. The right rifle. Rich Eisen says, Kurt Warner definitely exposed Daniel Jones on the commentary yesterday, and it was liberating to see. I didn't see that one. Kurt Warner did a video 2 years ago about Daniel Jones that everyone hated that I posted. I told how much I love Kurt Warner because of the fact that he spoke truth about Daniel Jones. Even the Knicks aren't doing well. The Knicks will be fine. The Knicks just have to gel. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. What does Joseph have to say? It's like the Groundhog Days every Sunday with Daniel Jones. It really is the same thing over and over again. And then you'll see, and he doesn't even, I've used this analogy a million times, and I'm going to continuously use it. He looks like he's stepping in the proverbial bucket. If you've ever played baseball, and I've been saying this now for like 4 weeks. If you ever played baseball, I got hit in the head in Little League, and I still played in high school. But I was a terrible hitter. I was a good catcher, but I was a terrible hitter. Why? Because I kind of had a fear of the ball. And what happens when you step in the bucket, when you're in the batter's box, you take that front leg, and instead of driving towards the pitcher when you're going to hit, the leg kind of goes out to the side, almost like you're bailing out. And that's called stepping in the bucket. And I used to hear that, I know it so well because the manager used to tell me all the time, you're stepping in the bucket, Tim, you're stepping in the bucket, Tim, you're stepping in the... I was going to hit him with the bucket. But I couldn't find it, so I kept stepping in it. That's what Daniel Jones does on his throw. He has no velocity. He's got no velocity. He's got no accuracy. He can't throw over 15 yards. Is it the neck? Is it the knee? Who does it? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I lived through. I forget about Dave Brown, Davey. I try to forget about Dave. The flea flicker was the funniest thing ever. Remember the flea flicker in the '86 Super Bowl? Joe Morris takes the ball, runs it up the line, Flicks it back to Phil Simms. Phil Simms hits Bavaro. Bounce off Bavaro. Goes into McConkey. What's Belfort? What's up? Tim, woo woo. Same thing. I think you're going to need a Tuma. Rant. Mike Lee said, notice, Tim, you didn't mention the other. I know. I can never remember Dave. I don't remember. I will never say Dave Brown. Hockey. I don't know. Maybe he's good at hockey. Want to see a flea flicker? Look at Kerry Collins, flea flicker, Dormani. It's not a Tuma. Todd says, I've never expected us to win the Browns. Graham, Canals, they were still being paid like they were the best quarterbacks in the league. You want to hear something that's going to kick you right in the fucking face? You want to hear something? Dave Brown, his first year as a starter, went 9-6. His first year as a starter. Fans in 79. You're in good company here. I want to say Jim DJ is a Cutcliffe guy. Remember? Oh, yeah, he's a Cutcliffe guy. How can I forget? What about Milrow? I know. I think he's more of a runner right now. I think he's still more of. I don't think he's as much of a passer he is as a runner. Logic's Finance says John Mara runs his team. He's the root cause. Everyone does the John Mara wants. I refuse to accept it's a 50-50 ownership situation. I'm convinced it's 40. No, it is a 50-50. It is a 50-50 logic. It is. Todd says Joe Biden was better than Staubach. Ask him. He'll tell you. Hey, I got to find this. Sound effect boards. Everything's all screwed up. Everything's all over the place. The camera doesn't work. The soundboard doesn't. The Giants stink. It's 2-8. I got season tickets I can't even give away. Yeah. Hot take. I think Kafka called better plays. And you know what? No, let's not get crazy. Jones is he's a bucket stepper. He is. Like I said, I was told this. You step in the fucking bucket. That's what he does. Watch how he throws. He's got this weird motion. It's almost, I'm not, it's not sexist or anything. I'm just going to phrase this right now. Oh, hell, Trump one. I can say what I want. He throws like a girl. That's what he does. Don't even let me get into Angel Reese. I'm not going down that train. What is Davey said? Davey says, Tim, you got hit in the head with a baseball. It does explain a lot. It was great too because I got hit in the bed and cracked the helmet. Cracked. And I didn't go to school for like a week. What's Mr. Roberts? Yeah, Tim, Rich Eisen, and Kurt Warner were the two guys in the commentary yesterday. I remember you asking in yesterday's video. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure who was. I wasn't sure who. I watched the game, but I had the sound down. Let's see here. I am the bucket, says Daniel Jones. Be the bucket. Be the bucket. Strider says, I heard the O-line sucked. I get pissed because he had a hard time and can't find the open targets. Lettuce Strider also said, we got a 2 for 2. Tim, last time I heard from Tish, he had no confidence in Pat Shurmur. He didn't like how Pat Shurmur kicked those straight on field goals. No, Pat Shurmur. I'm not thinking Pat Summerall. Oh, my God. I remember when Tish said, second year in Judge. Second Judge year. He goes, you know what we're going to need to do? If Judge doesn't do what we need to do and we don't get this right, I'm going to step in. Well, Tish, I am asking you to step in. Please step in right now. Save us. Slap the like, pay the plug. Yeah, slap the like. I don't even know what likes we got because I don't even know how many people in this room. I don't know nothing right now. Because I got monitors are all screwed up. Mara tried to sabotage me. He dropped in the fucking ninjas. And now the next thing I know, I can't get anything to work on my damn computer. I'm telling you, it's saboteurs. Well, here we go. Look at it. There we go. Now I got sound though. Okay. All right, there we go. Don't make me tell you guys about Sabotage again. How the Chinese used to throw their sabots into the grinder to stop them. Ergo, the name Sabotage. That's what Mara did to me. Slap the like. How many likes? We got 34 likes. We got 100 and something people here. We got 34 likes. By my math, we should have 4,960 likes. Oh. Why are you insulting girls? I know. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. Jones holds on to the ball too damn long. Cam Ward held on the ball down too long. Jones doesn't hold on to the ball too long. Jones needs to learn that He is not an NFL quarterback. And I don't fault him for taking the $160 million. I don't fault Daniel Jones for that. I fault the idiocy of the people who sat there and continuously told us he was the answer at quarterback. That's what I fault. I fault the press. I fault the Giants. I fault the segment of the fan base that got us into this mess. We are going to be year 4 into this mess and has not turned anything around and been any different. There is no difference than what's going on than what went on during Joe Judge. Except you went 7-2, but we all forget about 2-5-1. Joe Schoen, I want to remind you something on that fucking Washington game, and that's 9-7 that 9-7-1 season. You came running down the tunnel in overtime, and I have this on video, Joe. You came running down the tunnel in overtime, and you went on the field. Daboll did not let Daniel Jones throw the ball. You tie that game. Shane came running back up the tunnel, and you could see him clearly say, I can't believe we lost this fucking game, considering it was a tie. That is the entire philosophy that sums up Joe Schoen. He doesn't understand. And I mean, some people say that I'm a genius, but I mean, really, how could you screw up 5-7? Well, you did. You screw up the building blocks. You screwed up the foundation. You screwed up the foundation of the building, which was supposed to be the New York Football Giants. And you continuously make the same mistakes. We were not Brian Burns away from winning, but you give up a 2nd, a 5th, and a 7th. And then give him $120 million. And then you have to get rid of Nick McLeod, who was Brian Burns' buddy, because you don't have any money in the salary cap. Is there any good Giant beat writers left? You got, what's her name? Patricia Trainer, whatever, Grandma. You got her. She's a shill for the Giants. I can't think of anyone else's name right now because I've just reached this point that you have so many shills for this team. And now these shills are coming out and saying, oh, well, Daniel Jones isn't that good. Go read your press and your articles for the last 6 years. There has been some dumbasses here. And I'm still waiting for my apologies. I will be at the Tampa game. I want people lining up and apologizing to me, telling me I don't know anything about quarterbacks. And everyone's big thing was, well, you got Malik Willis wrong. Well, outside of Patrick Mahomes, Malik Willis right now is the only undefeated quarterback in the NFL. And I told you Kenny Pickett was going to suck. Told you C.J. Stroud was going to be awesome. Bryce Young, might have been a little bit wrong on Bryce Young. I've been telling you since the end of Daniel Jones's rookie year. Everything that I pointed out that was wrong with Daniel Jones at the end of that rookie year, that video that everyone blasted me for. Go back and watch it. Because everything that I said 5 years ago is still the same. Nothing's changed. Logic Science says Pat Shurmur played conservative offense in the second half of the games, looser plays that let winners play. Pat Shurmur was a genius. We've said this before about Daniel Jones. He had a rookie quarterback. He understood Pat Shurmur. I'm going to cut my field in half. I'm going to give him 2 options, and I'm going to tell him to throw to a spot. Some might say that screwed up Daniel Jones, but when you don't truly have the physical ability and you don't have the feel for the game, you literally don't have the feel for the game. You don't. Sorry, I'm going to have to give these away. The He-Man DJ Haters Club stickers. Everyone needs these. There we go. We're going to keep those on the wall. Jones is just having an off year. Hey-oh. Thank you, Rocky. Kevin says, it's crazy that it's year 4. It will be year 4 with Shane and Daboll. And you have this thought process that you think that Daboll and Shane, okay, look at Daboll's track record before Josh Allen. Don't go back to college. Don't say, well, yeah, he was part of those championship college teams, but this is the pros. What Daboll do in the pros outside of Josh Allen? Nothing. Same thing with Joe Shane. We went the Buffalo model. Remember when we got motor? We got motor, baby. We don't need that $12 million bum. Saquon Barkley. What is he? 7-3. Fucking asshole. We don't need him. We got motor. We got Isaiah McKenzie. We got Boogie. We put some Boogie in our butt. You tried to be Buffalo South. Didn't work. Your brilliance of, I still love it to this day. Him looking at his cell phone. Yeah. I think it looks like let's see here. Yeah. It looks like he's going to the Bears. Joe, your sources are not very good. And you never get anything right. And then when you get something right, like Deonte Banks, the wheels fall off on that bus because you take away the guy that everyone needs to remember. As I said this before, remember when Wink almost ripped Shane in half with that hug because he got Banks, because Banks was a Wink guy. Now he's not fitting as well into the Shane Bowen system, and people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater. He's not Eli Apple. You got to stop. Joe Shane is a swarmy mofo. Yeah, he is. How could you screw up 5-7? Well, you did. We lose to Spider-Man's friends without Spider-Man because they have Spider-Man. Tana. Is that it? I don't know her name. I don't know. I stopped reading the paper since like Dick Young. And that was the Daily News. Let's see here. Pat Leonard is honest, but he isn't the best. I don't know which one Pat Leonard is. Pat Leonard. Oh wait, Pat Leonard's the one that's does podcasts. Kayvon is a bust. He's Leonard Williams without the useless spin move.
King of the almost sack.
I was in a certain stream yesterday. A guy called me Jones here last year, was hating on Jones all the game. What stream were you in, Todd? Because we need to call out the stupidity. Because that's what we did. What is stats? Tim, the problem with bench and Jones is locked and Tommy might actually get us some games. We'll be here all over again next year. DJ gives us the best chance to lose, gives us a better shot at Cam. Oh, no, I think if you want a shot at Cam, throw in Tommy DeVito. The magic on Tommy DeVito has more than worn off. It not only did it strike midnight for Cinderella Tommy DeVito, it struck midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and the magic carriage fell on fucking Tommy DeVito. So I would start Tommy DeVito. Shermer knew enough to run the ball through his offensive line. Best player was Barkley. Strider says every DJ fan is going to be so wrong about DJ when he throws a 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns with the Super Bowl. Oh, yes, like we're still waiting. I'm still waiting, guys. I am still waiting. I am hoping. I am just going to sit here, and I'm waiting for my apology form to be filled out. Online Big Blue, Daniel Jones Lovers apology form. We are sorry, Tim. You have been right about Daniel Jones for 6 years. P.S. We will never doubt you again. Please post it. Please get people to sign it. Please get people to return it. It needs to be returned before 11th period because of the fact that I am going to go insane. Peace, Tim. We are the new Browns. I prefer the crunch punch. Yeah, that is the crunch punch behind me. That was the 81 season. Let's see here. Todd also says, I don't give a shit on what players our coach do against Georgia or Vanderbilt. We don't play them. You're right. That's the thing. That's what I love about Bryant. Well, he won in the pros. Really? When is Vanderbilt going to be on our schedule? Because I think we still might lose. What's up, Chris? Chris, I sent you a text message and a tracking number. Still think we need to make a damn Daniel Jones video clips of all the terrible plays and mixes in Neighbors first interviewing sing Jaden Drones. I feel so bad for Malik Neighbors. I jokingly told people that Malik Neighbors was going to request a trade by week 7. He might request trade at the end of the season. I mean, hell, why? Kevin, we lose. We have the Browns for quite some time now. James says, we got Turbo, we got Motor, we got Spider-Man, we got Casper, we got Danny Crimes. You know what? I love all these freaking nicknames. I think these freaking nicknames are the best. But you know what the problem is? You got to win some games. We got big old Don coming and dropping in the We always love it. He drops it. And he's gifted 5 online Big Blue memberships. You get yourself an online Big Blue membership. You get all your videos early. I do like we had someone the other day tell me, actually, it was somebody very nice email. He was like, Tim, I know I'm part of the membership crew and I do all this, but you know what? And I know I get all the videos almost a day early, but I like listening to them live at lunch. I was like, well, I appreciate that. Let's see here, but give everyone a big hand. The big hand for Big Don. Let's see. Your team has no leadership. We have rookies and second-year guys mouthing off, half-assing it. The lack of leadership accountability from the top down. I really thought Dexter Lawrence was going to be a lead. We don't know what's going on in the locker room, so I can't sit there with any fluidity and say yes that is going on. But and I know Leonard, I know Dexter Lawrence has said a couple times, we've addressed these things internally, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. But the problem is this: I don't know if what they're actually doing. What are they actually doing to fix these problems, to right these ships, to get everything going the right way? I don't know. Tell me why I ain't gonna watch this shit no more. I'm definitely not watching this weekend. But I think you might. I don't know if you're wrong or you're right. I'll take Brett Jones at this point. He's 73 years old. Burt Jones was actually a pretty good quarterback. He doesn't get the props that he should. Mr. Roberts says, I believe in Banks. The Giants passing on Joey Porter Jr. is looking worse as the year goes on. I did like Joey Porter Jr. I thought Banks was probably going to be just on level and same par as Porter Jr., but Porter Jr. is playing well. And don't worry. And I know he's playing well because every Giant fan that's an idiot tells me we need to trade for him. Yeah, like the Steelers are going to go, sure, just take him. Everyone who wanted Cam, hold your breath because Cam doesn't match what the Giants like at quarterback. We've said it before. Cam Ward, the carpets don't match the drapes with him here in Giant land. Hey-o! The Giants have a lot of first-round busts, and the reason why this team sucks: first-round busts, bad coaching decisions, bad free agency, bad cap management, the ability to sign our own free agents and keep our own talent that we've cultivated. We don't do these things, and every regime has done it. You got rid of Saquon Barkley, Xavier McKinney, and Julian Love. You let them walk for nothing. And then you have this bullshit with Leonard Williams. And I'm calling it bullshit, Joe. You got this bullshit with Leonard Williams. Well, we weren't going to trade Leonard if he didn't want to go somewhere. We weren't going to trade him. We were like, we're going to keep Leonard Williams because he's a cornerstone of the team. We asked him. That was bullshit, Joe. You didn't have any money to sign a quarterback. That's why you traded Leonard Williams. Philosophy Stoner says they don't want to bench Daniel Jones because the backups will be their biggest mistakes on full display. This whole team is a mistake. Pat Shurmur and Sanders should bring a Super Bowl to New York. Yeah, Pat Shurmur's not coming back here. He's not coming back here at all. Big Don, you're gonna give Big Don thanks. Let's see. A good reporter needs to write a story going through the entire DJ 6 years, looking through the lens of how many coaches, players, and bags ruined, and how the New York media has blamed them all over Daniel Jones. Then I must be a great reporter. I must be the greatest reporter in the history of the world. Don't forget to hit the like. I must be a great reporter, because I have been going through this now for 5 years. I have been told multitudes of times, I don't know anything. I don't know sports. I don't know football. I've watched content creators break their ankles jumping off and on the Daniel Jones bandwagon. We have been eerily consistent here. We are looking at the horizon and we are not moving. The needle doesn't move because we see what people don't want to see. Danny Dimes ran out of dimes to pay Mr. Telephone. Schreier says, Tim, I wanted to give Daboll and Schoen the benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't look good when you keep losing. And you find new and adventurous ways to lose. And listen, I understand you're Daboll. I understand. This is the other problem I have with Daboll. He plays chicken shit football at times. You're driving at the end of the game. Yes, a field goal puts it into overtime. You're 2-7. Roll the dice. Become Riverboat Ron Rivera. Just go for the touchdown. I don't care if you're on the 30. Just go for the touchdown. What do you have to lose? You're already a loser organization. Now you're a wet noodle losing organization. What's up, Matthew? By the way, Tim, what's up? And OBB family, working here for the party. Working, but here for the party. Well, we're always preaching. Nathan says, how do I get on the show? I promise to behave myself. $1 million. I don't know, Nathan. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, Nathan. I don't know. Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line. Every time I call my baby's number, it's busy all the time. Oh, my God. I want a new quarterback, new coach, a new general manager. Todd says we will wait 2 more years for Mara, who will draft Arch, even if Arch had. But you know what would be funny with Archie Manning? With Arch Manning Jr. You know, it'd be hilarious. Not Junior, whatever his fucking name is. You know, it'd be hilarious that Archie Manning and the Mannings kept Eli from going to San Diego. What would be the funniest thing ever that if the Manning family decided to keep the Archie Manning from going to New York because they're such a screwed up franchise? What Scream says, Doug seems to almost get nice to getting into people's faces. I agree. I actually agree with that. The honest assessment is if Neal's performance yesterday, Tim, I mean, Evan Neal, I was shocked when I saw that Evan Neal was going to play. I mean, if you want to give an honest assessment, you got to give him, like, you know, for a guy basically getting his first start in, I don't, you know, in how long, you know, you got to kind of give him, you got to kind of I'd give him a B. I mean, he didn't embarrass himself. He didn't, he didn't sit there and make you want to sit there and kind of go, ooh, well, geez, what the hell happened there? But like, a guy hasn't played all year, so you know what? I got to give him some credit for coming in here. I got to give him some credit for for playing the snaps, and doing what he needs to do. He played in 100% of the snaps. He played in 75% of the snaps. I mean, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. Petro says problem is apparently with the offense. No, yeah, a little bit. Hung Dave says, hey, Tim, this is great. Top 2 pick in the draft. So for it, I'm all in for the tank. Jersey Beaner says, hey, Tim, large peppies this time for season ticket holders. My sympathy, bud. I have to go to the Baltimore game. And I probably have to go to the Tampa game because I like to salute the service. We're military family. I have a lot of friends that are in the military, so we always go to salute to service and do that type of stuff. So, but it's like, I don't want to go to, I really like the Baltimore game. We're having a big tailgate. We're having a lot of the guys you see in the chat. We're all getting together. We're going to do a tailgate and we're just going to have a blast. We did the thing at the Shannon Rose, which was awesome as well. So we're going to kind of do it again. And, it's kind of feel bad because it was Swing Culture TV who was going with his buddies that I kind of leached onto, and now all of a sudden we're bringing all these other people. So, sorry about that, brother. Drafting DJ was retarded because he was Eli Manning traits. Thank you, Dave Gettleman. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be a Giant. Here's the problem. I don't blame Gettleman anymore. Why do I blame Gettleman? Gettleman didn't re-sign him. Everyone in this league outside of the bubble of New York said he would not get more than the Mitchell Trubisky money that he got in Pittsburgh. Des makes a good soup, though. Actually, the chunky soup commercials are pretty good. Kevin says, bring back Gettleman to help draft the D and have Brandon. I like Brandon Brown, but Brandon Brown's not going to take over. Petro says, O-line sucks. DJ doesn't have weapons. 3 play calling sucks. When we're going to see how they make it to the effing quarterback. What does Charlie have? Charles Barkley says, Brian Daboll is scared to ride the riverboat since 2022. Just you are a losing head coach. You are a losing franchise. You're a losing head coach. You are a losing franchise. Make sure you hit the like button. We need 100 friggin' likes. Why? Because I might have an aneurysm. You're a loser. I always think of Roy Hobbs when he's in the office at the end, and he tells the gambler, let it ride. And the gambler tells him, you had a great gift, but a gift's not enough. And I think you're a loser. That's what we're dealing with right now. with the likes of Brian Daboll. So he's got to take his head out of his ass and just throw caution to the wind. You got a bad team. I would throw Carolina. I would have thrown the ball 497 times. So what you're saying is we're not good. Hit the sarcasm button.
You're what?
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
Listen, if you want to hit me, if you want me to hit the sarcasm button, it's 24. Just tell me, hit button 24. I'm a Cowboys fan, and it tunes in. So my Giant fans friend, Nathan, you're a smart guy. Oh yeah, Nathan, I remember you now. Now I remember Nathan. I want to get this game to be ever. I'm so tired of the Giants. I'm a Packer fan. The Pack Attack, man. Lambeau Leap. Don Majkowski. Before Brett Favre. Lynn Dickey. Mr. Alvarez says, if DJ is somewhere else and wins the Super Bowl, I'll super chat a year's salary to OBB. All right, cool. Saints helped us yesterday, Law. I'm afraid we're going to lose to the Saints, too. Tracy is overrated. We need a run. Tracy's not overrated. Tracy has only played this position. He played the position a little bit in high school. He only changed his position in the pros because he knew that was the best way to get on the field. So that's he just hasn't played the position enough yet. I mean, I'm not gonna like I said, I'm not gonna fault him for that. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. Why can't I move my mouse? Where'd my mouse go? Oh, there it is. We need Ernie Corsi to come out of retirement. Ernie Corsi doesn't want to be part of this shit. Chris Willem says, we need a lot more than running back. Yeah, Tracy is a little overrated, but he's still not a bust. Graham says, Tim, you should call it Big Blue. You should call in the Big Blue Kickoff Live. What the hell is Big Blue Kickoff Live? Is that the Carl Banks show? I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is. Besides, no one wants me on their show. You want to know why? A bunch of pussies are afraid of me. Let's be honest. Because I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to spit facts. I'm going to spit wisdom. I'm going to sit there and not sugarcoat it. We don't live in the lollipop guild. We live in the real world. And Rocky said it best.
Don't push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a word you won't believe.
That was supposed to be the other Rocky line, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the other Rocky line. You know, the one with, that's how winning is done. Oh, wait.
But it ain't about how hard you hit.
There we go. I found it.
How hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
We just don't do that. Hit the like button. And if you don't hit the like button, it's okay. Why does not my mouse want to go over here now? Oh, my computer's so screwed up. I got everything everywhere here. Hold on. What do we got here? Can I use what this mouse is? I don't know what the hell's going on here. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my life. Oh, there we go. All right, what do we got here? Mayfield is down to throwing the Shepard, and he's better than Jones. Yes, he is. Jersey Beaner says, hey, Tim, Daboll is getting all the weight back. Yes, he is. Thank you, Jersey Beaner. We talked about it. He's eating through the Ozempic. He's eating through his emotions. That drug only curtails your hunger. It doesn't take away from the emotions that are causing the hunger. 100% he is. Or are you just saying that because I said that in the video yesterday? Matthew says, it's just nice to get out of the Twilight Zone. Getting off the Jones roster would be like a hex being lifted. It's a curse. We've said this before, and I've said this before. The last game that we won was when Eli Manning got in to be a finalist, not in the finals, but got on the Hall of Fame ballot. That is the last game that we have won. It is the curse of Eli Manning.
This place is cursed.
This place is cursed because of what we did with Geno Smith and Eli Manning, what we did with Eli Manning and Daniel Jones. We're cursed. Tim Charles Barkley said, turn the other cheek, but the other cheek gets hit. This is how I feel when both cheeks are getting hit at once. Yeah, they are getting hit. Nathan says, Big Blue Kickoff Live is the biggest sugarcoating homers I've ever heard. I don't know who they are. Well, let's see here. Then he shot Paulie. Great movie. Oh my God. Chris says he's just young and only too much. Yeah, he's going to be fine. Big L Gigante, what's going on? Whoa, we are the best of the worst. Leave it to Daniel Jones, Daboll and Schoen. Tankathon for Shane, another draft, another DJ. How many people in this chat? And I would start a poll, but I got no clue how to do it. How many people in this chat have any confidence that Shane can do anything? It should be the one that picks the next guy. I know I'm going to regret this. I'm going to put the needle on the record. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I got the link in the chat if everyone wants to just drop on by. Charles Ruggs says you can teach him everything, but you can't teach him to have heart. That's true. That was Tommy Gunn. He doesn't have your heart. Oh, he's eating the hot dogs. Fucking crustable eating motherfucker. I'm about 50%, and I am about at 50%, and that's pretty bad. What are you 50% of? Let's see. Pale Rider, one of the greatest Clint Eastwood movies. If Tracy is at fault for the overtime film, then Jones and Gano are at fault for Pale Rider. We talked about this in the very, very beginning of part of the stream. The venerable Bill Parcells and other coaches have said you don't lose on one game. You don't lose on one play. You never lose on the last play of the game. Why? Because of the fact that you have had 6 or 7 other plays during the game that you needed to convert on until you never got to that point in that game. You should never, you complete those 5 out of those 6 plays during the game. You should never get to that play that happened at the end. What does Phil have to say? Schoen has stubbornly refused to trade Aziz or Slayton for late round picks. The next year he'll be wondering why we have no depth. Where do they go? Young, cheap depth. Where do they come from? I don't know. The thing is with Aziz Ojulari and Joe Schoen is you had to make that trade because of the fact that you either going to have an injury or you are just not going to be able to resign him. Darius Slayton's not coming back. If I'm Darius Slayton, I'm running as fast as I can away from Daniel Jones because he's basically wrecked what part of your career you have. What have I missed? I had to make food and take the dog out. Well, what you've missed is right now, Joe Schoen still sucks. And then at this point in time, Brian Daboll, we think is gaining weight. And Brian Burns, well, we forgot that his name was Spider-Man, but it's not really Spider-Man. And Dexter Lawrence is doing chunky commercials, or he's doing soup commercials right now. And back on the farm, Timmy's going to go find where he is, and he fell into the well. But Lassie's going to save him. Jersey Beaner. What about Brian Burns? Crean says, I don't believe in Joe Schoen. I've lost all confidence. I've lost all confidence in Joe Schoen. I have lost all you were not Brian Burns away. You are not a Brian. You had a carbon copy end in Kayvon Thibodeau, who you just drafted 2 years prior. You go out and spend $120 million, a second, a fifth, and a seventh on Brian Burns when he's the exact same player. Neither of them can play the run. You both sit down on both sides, and we said it since the Brian Burns trade. How do you defeat the Giants? You run right at the defensive ends. Because neither of them knows how to set the edge. Neither of them knows how to maintain their assignments, and neither of them plays the run well. You have you have Brian Burns, who is what you hope Kayvon Thibodeau will be in 2 more years, which is an 8-sack guy. NFL Network said it best. Giants got good value on the trade, but they traded for an 8-sack guy. Big Dom with the Super Chat saying, I'm still bothered Newman is a year younger than Xavier McKinney. Oh, Xavier McKinney. How we missed the Xavier McKinney. Don't forget to hit the like button on the like button. We have 100 and something people in the room. We only got 53 likes. We got another 100 and something people watching us on the Twitter sphere. Matthew says, I want Mike Vrabel to coach. He's better. An alternative to Belichick philosophy, brings an excellent OC. Keep Bowen. What do you think? No, I do not want Mike Vrabel anywhere near this team. Mike Vrabel is not what they would, and plus it's never going to happen because he's not a Mara guy. He is not a Mara guy. He is not a guy that's going to play well with others. He learned that with the new owner in Tennessee when he got fired. He's stubborn. He's got a philosophy. I've said this before, I give Shane Bowen all the credit in the world. I thought Shane Bowen was going to come in here and run that crap defense he ran for 5 years, notwithstanding the 2 that he had, Jim Schwartz as his mentor, I thought he was going to run that same crap defense, excuse me. He proved me wrong. Bowen actually built his defense around the talent of his team. The problem is if you don't get the pass rush, things go bad. Tim, my buddy went up to me and asked me if I saw DJ truck a Panther player. My response was, don't care. We didn't win. Said it before, Strider. Said it a million times. Said it when I used to play. You would have those people that would have these big plays, and you would just turn around. You know what you would do? You would just go scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard. Chris, what does Chris Love MMA says? I don't think anyone in the world like Shane. He's like our best player, leaving no competence, compassion with the watch and flourish elsewhere rather than fixing the issues in the building. Yeah, he doesn't. I wonder what team would you, let's see here. I wonder what team would like Barkley McKinney with a new quarterback. Yeah, that would, it would be great if we had Barkley, McKinney, Julian Love. It would be great. It would be great if we had some of those guys. I don't know where we could get them, though. Where can we get those guys? Oh, we had them. That's right. That's right. Julian Love came back hat in hand. You offered him $10 million a year. He turned it down because he thought he was going to get more on the market. He comes back for under 8. Hat in hand. You match Seattle, I stay. Joe Shane's like, well, I got Yusef Corker, dude. We're good, buddy. What is a Mara guy? Tom Coughlin is a Mara guy. Tom Coughlin would be a Mara guy. But we're never going to go that way again. Strider said, love how people had Burns at 9 tackles. They were garbage stats because he can't play the run. When you are making the tackles 5 yards off your position on a guy that just ran for 148, yeah, not impressed. Sorry, Carl, not impressed. I'm more impressed with Carl Jr.'s and go get a cheeseburger. Matthew says, I'm not really sure who else would make sense. Someone on the mold of Coughlin, but a young enough to stick around. Who do you suggest? I want a guy that's got a little bit of a pedigree. I want a guy that's won. I want a guy that's hungry. Hold on, sorry. Can't work into one. Sorry. Big numbers. All right. I don't know. How about Sean Payton? If I got free Giants tickets, I would give them away for the rest of the season. I paid for mine. I can't give them away. Nathan says we had the same defense philosophy in Dallas years ago with Monty Kiffin, and we lost those games 17-10. People would blame the defense instead of looking at a quarterback who couldn't move the ball. But listen, you still have Dak. As much as I hate the Cowboys, you still have a good quarterback. You still have a guy that's maybe heading down to the tail end of his career. And I've said this before with the Dallas Cowboys. And I've asked this question in the chat before. As a Dallas Cowboy fan, you guys complain that you don't that you don't win in the playoffs. But the problem is this: you guys get to the playoffs. We've had this conversation before, going back to 2010. When the Cowboys went 6-10, you went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4. Then 15, you had the bad year at 4-12. Then you went 13-3, 9-7, 10-6, 8-8, 10-6, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. You still get to the playoffs. Giant fans, we would love to have that record. We would love to have that thought. What about Tom Coughlin's son-in-law? Chris Snead? I don't think he's coaching anywhere. Tim, $140 million quarterback who runs over defenders. Yeah, that's great. I got a $140 million quarterback who can run over defenders. How about I have a $140 million quarterback who can literally throw the ball? Mr. Robert says, if we don't sign Jones, we could have had Love, Barkley, McKinney, and Ingram, and have good players they've drafted, but beating the dog shit Vikings gave Jones his big money. That's the thing, man. That is literally the thing. If you would have looked at the philosophy of the talent you had on this team, now, yes, you were hamstringed by the salary cap, But who told you guys to go out and sign this? And I'm not looking at Joe Shane, but who told you to go out and sign the smooth sounds of Kenny G? Who told you not to stagger the Thomas Lawrence contracts? Who told you to give $160 million to Dan Jones? Who told you to give $120 million to Brian Burns? Who told you to piss off Saquon Barkley? Where people in your own building are like, listen, if we don't have Barkley, what are we? What's our identity? And you're like, this is gonna be Daniel Jones's career year. Greatest piece of film ever. This is gonna be Daniel Jones's career year, guys. Well, that didn't work out. Hey Tim, do you think Belichick is a good coach for the Giants? No, he's not. He's not gonna be a good coach for the Giants. He's how about Sean McKay? Yeah, McKay's not gonna leave. He might leave the Rams. How many more wins will this team have with Xavier Kinney, Saquon Barkley, and Russell Wilson at quarterback? That's actually a really good question. If you have Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley, Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy, a rebuilt offensive line, I think you're at least 500. I'm saying you're at least 500. Turkey Day is canceled. Nobody wants that mess. Turkey Day. Oh, I forgot about that. Dak sucks. He's like every other version of Kirk Cousins. Great in the regular season. Chokes in the playoffs. Here's the thing, though, Stanley. We don't even get to the playoffs. We get to the playoffs once every 5-6 years. I would like my quarterback to suck, get us to the playoffs, and then not win the playoffs. I would like that. If that's possible, let's do that. Daniel Jones is what people thought Lamar Jackson was going to end up being. That's true. Good point. Petro says, we don't want to pay a little running back, but the $30 million a year, but he's only good at, guess it, running the ball, and he's bad at, you guess it, throwing the ball. Yeah, because we don't need a $40 million quarterback handing up to a $12 million running back. Sometimes when Joe Shane speaks, you just cringe. Someone called him swarmy. He is a swarmy used car salesman who thinks he's smarter than everyone. But you're not, and your record sucks. And we sit there and we talk about this, and we try to talk about this ad nauseum, but at the end of the day, you just reach a crescendo where you can't do what you say you're going to do, which is produce a winner here in New York. It's time. Let's see here. We got Tim. Nobody wants sloppy seconds for Daniel Jones.
That's what she said.
Not even third or fourth. God awful getaway. Let's see. What quarterback do you think works best in the Giants system? The Giants system that we're running now? None, because we're running a high school offense. Why don't we just go run the veer? The veer consists of like 12 plays. 11 of them are runs. Let's go run the veer. Bobby Bowden, when he was at West Virginia, was the king of the veer. I think Bobby Bowden's dead, though. Okay, so we can't get Bobby Bowden. Well, let's just run the veer. Why not? Simple. Daniel Jones can run all he wants. Throw like 6 times a game. Because last week, 2 weeks ago, you were 4 for 6 for 0 yards. So why not? Let's just run a college offense. Let's see if we can go get Tommy Frazier and see if Tommy Frazier can come out of retirement and teach him the option offense. Well, Tommy Frazier's not retired, but Tommy Frazier's like 57 years old or 60 years old now. Nathan says Dak isn't that good. He's actually not benefiting from the turnovers. The offense doesn't do anything until garbage time. Troy Aikman actually called it out at the broadcast years ago. Troy Aikman's still bitter. Razzle says, I know I want some to see Joe and Daboll go, but they're where we are yet. Whether or not we have faith in GM Joe, we'll try with a different quarterback before they get canned. I just can't do it again. I just can't. Is it just me, or did the volume drop? Maybe I have to restart the stream, or is it just me? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if the volume dropped. Our system is chaos. What does Army run? I don't know what Army runs. That's a good question. Tim, aside from quarterback, what other position needs to be addressed next? Okay. You still have to address wide receiver. You still have to address tight end. You still have to address defensive tackles. You need at least 2 outside linebackers, maybe another middle linebacker. You need at least another corner, and you need a safety. But I think you're set at punter. Smash that like button. That's better. I think that was your phone, my brother. Todd says it's because nearly 30 years since the Cowboys have made the Super Bowl, and it's been glorious. Oh, I have to tell you that. Let's see here. I'll take my chance with the first pick being a bust and not being. We know Daniel Jones is a bust. Let's talk sports, man. You just nailed it. It depends on the offense next year. If they're going to try to move more with the Sanders or Ward, you want to run first offense to go with Milroy. Regardless, I think it's. I would take. I don't think. I'm not against Sanders, but you're going to get a lot of baggage with him and Dion, and you're going to get a lot of. I think you're going to get a lot of. I don't think he's a bad kid, but I think you're going to get a lot of headaches that you're not going to want. I think Ward is the safer pick in regards to. Coming and being a quarterback in New York. It's like the Josh Rosen thing when I tell the people Josh Rosen shouldn't. I said I did a video that the Giants should never even sniff anywhere near Josh Rosen because of just the way he was at UCLA, just his thought process, just his mind, the way he spoke to the press. And I kind of think Sanders is going to be the same way. Triple option. I forget. Was the triple op? No, we're going to run the veer. What a surprise that the team couldn't develop a quarterback succession plan for 6 years. Also, no coach, GM, or succession plan. We got nothing. Let's see. Leslie says, I love your videos, Tim. Time for you to apply for the Giants GM position. I would apply for the Giants GM position, but I am too busy. I got laundry to do. I got to put a new carburetor in. I got to fix my computer now because evidently the camera's all screwed up. I am so busy. Let's see. Yeah, I could. You know, it's funny. I could mess it up just as bad as Joe Shane. Razzle said before we said again. Some people think I'm like a genius, but I mean, honestly, how can you screw up 5 and 7? Yeah, you did a good job at that, Joe. Let's see here. Nathan says all 3 military schools run the triple option. I didn't know that. Let's see here. Ted Munchin runs the triple option at Army, I think. Okay, so here we go. We're going to run we're going to run the triple option. I'm liking this. We have figured out the Giants system. We have figured out a philosophy for Daniel Jones. I'm old, so I suggested DeVere. But let's run the triple option. Let's go get the Army head coach, have him come to the Giants, and we're going to run the triple option. Hey, Tim, Dex has Nacho too. He's got nachos too. I keep thinking of Nacho, man. Maybe we should run the Statue of Liberty play. Why not? Listen, you're 2-8. Why not just run anything you possibly can? You're 2-8. Run whatever. How many likes do we have? I can't get my mouse. Oh, now I get my mouse to go the other way. Hold on. That's what she said. Let's see here. We have 100 something people in this chat still, and we only have 50 something likes. I am disgusted. I am wounded. We got another 100 something people on Twitter. I don't know what's going on here. Whoa. What is this one? Do you think Marshall Green from Giants Chats will be a good GM for the Giants? I don't think he's good at YouTube. So what would make him as a good GM for the Giants? Chat sports, all they do is just make shit up. I always love it because they're like, you're just jealous because we have more followers and views. I really don't give a fuck because you think my life is broken down into views and followers. You got a lot of problems. You got a lot of issues. You know what my thing is? I just don't make shit up. I always love it because people send me their thumbnails. Giants are going to make a big trade. And then they have a picture of like Josh Allen on the cover. Time to grow up. Hey, Tim. Tex says Nacho to help out too. Nacho. You know what? Ashawn Robinson. He looked real good yesterday. Wish we could have a player like that. Ashawn Robinson is probably still mad at me. We had they had the rookie symposium 2 years ago. And it was at the Giants training facility. And I went. And there was a green drink in one of these refrigerators. It looked like it looked like a nice drink. And it looked like, I like drinks that are, that have all the fruits and the vegetables and everything. And it was, so I drank it. And then I turned around and noticed that it said Ashawn on it. So I drank Ashawn smoothie. I think that's what sent him over the fucking edge. Big L was there. I think that's what sent him over the edge. And he doesn't want to be a Giant anymore. Getty messed it up. Shane messed it up. 5 and 7. We stick it. We can blow it up every top 10 slot. I agree. Rocky says, can the Giants screw up the first pick of the draft? Sure they can. I have confidence. Maybe, just maybe, Brian Burns is our new starting quarterback. Okay, that was pretty funny. At this point, also run the Wildcat with the triple option. Football sport of kings, better than diamond rings. Football. Let's see here. Punt on second down to confuse. Todd. I laughed that Todd says that because I think it was after the last loss before this loss. I said, you know what we need to do? We need to just screw with teams. We just need to punt on second down. Yeah, that'll show them. They'll be sitting there back in a 3-4 defense going, what the fuck? They're punting. Let's see here. Let's see here. Can you put the streaming beaming video on? Steaming beaming?
Gotta get to work. That's right.
I don't know why you want Willie Beeman, but I'll give you Willie.
Come on. My name is Willie. Baby, I keep the ladies screaming and all my fans got screaming. You can defeat me. You're dreaming.
Flex your chest. Get Metrex. Sorry. Yeah, chat sports pretty stupid. Stupid as stupid does, Mr. Blue. Let's see. Burns, and this isn't going anywhere, but how do we improve with the run D? Would a move to a 4-3? No, moving to a 4-3 would not help because you're still going to have the problems on the edge. The problem is this: outside of Bobby Okereke, and I think Bobby Okereke is suffering a little bit for second year Blake Martinez. You need, if your defensive ends are not going to maintain their runs assignments well, they are not going to hold the edge. They're not going to do what they need to do. You need to have at least a quality outside linebacker that can help mop off less than a yard off the line of scrimmage. But the problem is we don't have that. So what our problem is, you see it, you watch it, they just attack. And that because they're not undersized, but neither are, like I said, if you don't do something well, you're just going to get hit over and over again. It's like if you're a boxer and you're susceptible to the overhand right, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to try to throw the overhand right. And that's what teams figured out. Todd Taylor says, Chat Sports claiming we're going to sign every free agent. Oh, yeah, they claim that we're going to sign every free agent, ever released, every player that's ever going to be good that we're going to draft. And teams are going to just trade us people like Joey Porter Jr. for nothing. Remember when we were getting the DB out of, what's his name, Patrick Surtain out of Denver? And we were going to give up like a second rounder and get him? Yeah, and I kept telling people, you're fucking nuts. They're not going to let him go. Chat Sports, they are from Dallas. Oh, that explains it. That explains it. They grow. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Salute to all the veterans who are currently served. My family has a heavily served family. Yes, that is Veterans Day, which I don't understand why the kids don't have school off. It used to be a national holiday. Like I said, we come from a large military family here. So I salute to all the veterans, and thank you for your service as always. Greg says, I almost got kicked out of the stadium when they did the flea flicker. Yeah, you were emailing me about that. I want to hear that story. I know the running backs can make money, play quarterback, and just run like Daniel Jones. Dart or Sanders? Darts actually look good. I don't know. I have to think about that. Greg, what's sad? The flea flicker could have worked, but DJ is blind as a bat. Don't make fun of bats. Bats aren't blind. They have their own internal sonar. Mr. Jackson says we need to give the other teams a medium Pepsi so they less win. Listen, I will give up my medium Pepsi if we can win a game. Chat, let's see. Let's Talk Sports says, let's talk sports. We should do the back-to-back quarterback sneaks on second and third, deep in our own territory to confuse the opposing offense. We've already done that. We already did that. Joe Shane is already, dude, I want Cam Ward. I want Cam Ward as well. Let's see here. There is no chance of Cam Ward if we win any of these games. Remember that. You're right. You're not wrong. Strider says Giants Chat Sports is weird, wasting stupid topics like Giants trade for Matthew Stafford. I'm like, we have no effing money. Listen to Tim. Oh, those were the idiots that were also talking about trading for Matthew Stafford. Listen, when you don't have a life, and you have to be on YouTube, and that's your job, unless you're someone like Mr. Beast or Ryan Trahan or someone like that. Yeah, You need to go out and get a job. Let's see. Wait, Veterans Day isn't a national holiday anymore. What is wrong with this? Yeah, it's not a national holiday. I mean, the post office is closed. The banks are still open. The stock market's still open. The kids are in school. My wife is part Native American. And so, but we celebrate. Indigenous Persons Day is a national holiday. But we don't salute our veterans anymore. And I think Veterans Day came around since like 1918 was the first Veterans Day. We don't have the Veterans Day parade anymore. I don't know. No trust no quarterback ever from Oregon. I agree. How many, Joey Harrington? How about we wait until next year to start winning games? Oh, yeah, that would be pretty funny. Yeah, we should retire. Let's see here. Let's see. Anyway, I got to take my kids to lunch. My wife is at work. I got the day off of my kids. What are you doing for lunch for your kids? I need ideas. Well, my kids are in school. My kids got school today. So I made ham and cheese sandwiches, I think. I don't remember. With these little Debbie cakes that are shaped like Christmas trees and these bags of those fruit juicers. And I think it was a bag of the blue Doritos. Let's see here. Shot Sports drinks Fireball to top it off. Fireball. Speaking of Veterans Day, Strahan is a little, you know what? Strahan comes from a military family. His dad was in the military. I don't know what people are getting on Strahan for because he didn't. Whatever. People are just crazy. I was on record, Big Tim, that I didn't want Caleb Williams. He's crashing out in Chicago just like I thought he said he would. Not mental toughness, and his attitude has passed off his teammates. I said I wanted Jaden Daniels. I said that also Michael Penix would probably be the most pro-ready quarterback, but he's stuck behind Kirk Cousins. But did you ever try the Uncrustables? Yes, I did. They have these Uncrustables, like I like to refer to the rich man peanut butter and jelly. They're not very good. They're not very good. Davey says, next year we'll be singing I'm glad to be in America because at least I know I'm free. Veterans Day used to be a holiday when I was growing up. Pearl Harbor Day was a half a day. People forget we don't have Pearl Harbor Day either. Was a half of a holiday. Now it's not even talked about. I forgot about Pearl Harbor Day. I believe it was grape. My wife bought them as a joke. I believe it was grape. Tim, you're sounding better. Continue to get well. Thank you. I'm getting well because of Yiso Fitness. Yiso Fitness, a new partner of Online Big Blue Sports. We're going to have a new Yiso Fitness video tomorrow. So I have to go out and get a cable, though, because my cable's shot to hell and I can't get my camera to work. And I have to do, does this camera work? I'm trying to see if how come I can't get a camera to work. I think my cable's shot. I got to get a new cable for the camera. What time is it? It is 1:04. It's 1:04 here in the AM. For those that don't know, there's a little bit of light traffic on the Parkway, and the weather for today is going to be partly cloudy. But don't worry, we're going to play a little Kashmir. I always wanted to be a radio DJ. Tim, on the inside, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. A Giants loss. On the outside, I'm just numb and depressed. And it used to be, but it hurts, Tim. It really does. You sit there as a fan base. I can remember going as a kid, like I said, to the Meadowlands with my father. It's going back to 76. So it was a family tradition, even when it was bad. But you still went and you still cheered. And the Giant fan base has never been the same since they tore down the Meadowlands. And I know the Meadowlands was a dump. The Meadowlands was like Shea. And I'm actually working right now to get a part of the end zone of the Meadowlands for the basement. Why? For the man cave? I don't know why. But I did, but we had this collective, we had this thought process when you were at the Meadowlands that even if you go back to the Sims-Bruner debate, yeah, you didn't have sports talk, you didn't have the internet, you didn't have everything, you still had the papers. But when you went to the game, you were always still rooting for whoever was the quarterback. It doesn't matter if you were in the Sims camp, it didn't matter if you were in the Bruners camp, just the way it was. And I always talk to the fact that, I grew up in the winters at Giant Stadium. I grew up there. My father, when he couldn't go to the game and he had to go to work because he worked in the city, he'd give me $20, leave me some tickets with my friends, and we would go. He'd drop us off at noon, pick us up at 4:30. But it's just not this. We're just not that same franchise anymore. I've talked about it before. I've met Wellington Mara. I've met Bill Parcells in '86. I've met Tom Coughlin. I've met Judy Coughlin. I've met all these people doing all these things. But at the end of Judy Coughlin at one point in time wouldn't give me my son back. But at the end of the day, we're just not there anymore as a team. We're just not there as a franchise. We're just not there as a fan base anymore. It's just sad. Yeah, Caleb Williams looking like a huge bust, and I'm not going to lie, but hey, what the fuck? I don't know. Support the franchise, but you sign them, bum, because of playoff win. You're right. There you go. Stanley says, what's your thoughts on Carson? I don't like Carson Beck anymore. Let's see here. Lodge fans like World War I, World War II, Korean War, veteran, Vietnam War. Go for it. Extend my family has served in the Army, Navy, and the Marines. No, you lost me on the first two. We're a Marine family. We're a Marine family going back to World War I. World War II, actually. Let's see. My grandfather came over through Ellis Island. People, I got to remember, I'm only a second-generation American because my grandparents came over through Ellis Island. So, but my grandfather served in World War II. And then my father also served as well. Not in World War II, but being non-competitive with a good team is losing the bad team. Yep, Greg says at least Caleb shows some. Caleb's going to be fine. Caleb's a rookie. I'm not going to get down on Caleb Williams just yet. Tim, your sarcasm is top 5. My sarcasm is top 1.
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
Found the sarcasm button. What do we got here? Darn with the big old super chat. What do we got here, brother? If we haven't signed Jones, we wouldn't have Jones. Big Blue Kickoff is the podcast. If we hadn't signed Jones, well, we wouldn't have Jones. We wouldn't have Jones. You're kidding me. Is that what they said? Big Blue Kickoff is the Giants pod. Oh, is that which one is the Carl Banks one with Bob Papa? Which one is that? I want to go on that one. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. If we hadn't signed Jones, well, we wouldn't have Jones. What do we got here? Tim, I'm guessing you witnessed Joe Pisarcik fumble. Oh, I did witness Joe Pisarcik fumble and Herm Edwards running it back into the end zone. Yes, I did. You saw it. You were like, why aren't you just taking a knee? Why are you giving it to Zonka? Zonka is not the same Zonka that he was, even in the WFL. Hey, Tim. Hey, is it true that the Meadowlands Arena had more of your typical rowdy New York fans compared to MetLife, where they mostly reserved seats for corporate executive? No, you know what's funny? The Meadowlands was family oriented. It wasn't until the end of the Meadowlands that you have the numbskulls coming in. But from I would say from when I went 76 to going into the early 2000s, until really after that first Super Bowl, it was a very family oriented atmosphere. It really was, because you had guys that were season ticket. You got to remember there was a 90-year waiting list for season tickets when in the Meadowlands, because they didn't have the PSLs. You had a place in line for season tickets. You had to will that place in line to your relative so you would lose your spot. And it was a fun atmosphere. But like I said, it was a dump like Shea. I love Shea Stadium. I love Shea Stadium. I loved being in the left field bleachers all the way up top. And you could literally, when the planes went by LaGuardia, you could feel the bleachers sway. What is this called? What is this? Bevel podcast is the Carl Banks pop one. Okay. Thank you. I didn't know that. That's what I was looking for. I wanted Cliff Kingsbury and Brian Flores as the main. I wanted Brian Flores. I've said this before. I wanted a hard-nosed, defensive-minded coach who was going to come in here and say, you know what? You guys have to get your shit together. They didn't like him in Miami. He probably wasn't wrong about Tua. But it is what it is. That's what I wanted too. Joe actually on the Eagles in the playoffs games in 81. So got a bit of revenge on him then. Yeah, that's true. He was. but he still fumbled. Tim is a fellow MetLife fan like myself. Spirit of '86, baby. I love the Meadowlands. Like I said, I'm never gonna deny. I have my seats. I have my father's season ticket seats in my man cave. So that's how much I love the Meadowlands. And like I said, I'm trying to get a part of the end zone, the actual giant part. There's a guy selling part of the end zone. I gotta get it, but he wants fucking crazy astronomical price. But then I'm also wondering what I'm gonna do with 9 feet of end zone. I do have a goalpost in my basement, so we actually took the goalpost with us when we did the. You could see it. Here you go. Wait a minute. Can you see it? Here we go. Here. This was us at the when we were at the Shannon Rose doing the live stream. There's my goalpost. I literally have a goalpost. So you can see part of it. I have a goalpost. It's the Bud Light official goalpost of the NFL. So you always have to have a goalpost in your basement. Why? Because you never know when you need to kick an extra point. Hi-oh, let's see here. That's pretty cool about the seats. Hang it over. Let's see here. Let's hang it over your bed. No, I would like to stay married. Let's see how many whatever we have here. How many people are? What do we got here, people? We got, I don't know how many likes we have. 71 likes. I want to thank everyone from the Twitter sphere that's been following us. We got a nice Twitter crowd going on here, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone that's also been following us on the Facebook and all that fun stuff as well, because that's we are a fan base, we are an organization, we are a franchise, we are everything that we thought we needed to be. We have hit rock bottom once again, but we've always hit rock bottom, and I've just kind of reached the point though that being at rock bottom, they always say there's no place to go but up. But if you know anything about soil and the earth, there's another layer underneath that, and I kind of think we're heading down to that layer. Let's see here. Do you think the Giants and the Jets will ever have? No, I don't think they ever will. Cost too much. Let's see. Think they'll ever have an expansion for a transplant Major League Baseball to come to the Meadowlands? No, they're never going to do that. You're not going to have 3 teams in New York. Hey, Tim, any wide receiver prospects that you like in this year's draft? Actually, I haven't even looked at the wide receivers yet. I was at the Yankees game for Reggie Jackson's first home run as a Yankee in 1977. You got to love the Reggie bars. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for hanging out. I'm going to go have lunch, and I got to go get the kids. Oh, we got Mr. Rogers coming in here first saying, what do we got there? Good morning, Tim. Happy Veterans Day to all our troops. The football gods will, with Cam Ward possibly being our new quarterback, should the Giants start over with a new GM and coach? Yes. I love when people want this dichotomy of this breakdown of this answer that I should give. And I'm always like, yeah, no, they should just right away. Reggie bars were awesome. What was the logic? What was the game that they took, that they gave the Reggie bars away, that they threw them all on the field? I forget what game that was, but I remember that. I remember that as a kid going, and I was still a little kid, not little kid, but I was still a kid in the 70s. So I was like, Dad, why are they throwing away the candy? Chunky's but awesome. Hopefully this was good therapy for everyone. This was good therapy for me. Got a new video coming out tomorrow. Don't know what it is yet. I don't remember the game, but I remember what that is. I don't know what the video is going to be yet, but it is going to be sponsored by Yiso Fitness, proud partner and sponsor of the new online big. Well, not new, but they're a partner. They're nice. It's like a Peloton, but you ain't got to spend $3,000. You spend $499. So just watch the video tomorrow. My grandfather and dad used to take me to Shea as a kid back then when Tommy Terrific was awesome, man. I didn't become a Mets fan until late. I was always a football and basketball fan. So I didn't come until like the late 70s. I came in right during the Midnight Massacre when they got Doug Flynn, Pat Zachary, what's his name, Steve Henderson, what's his name, Norman, and whoever else. And then they also traded Dave Kingman the same day. That's when I became a Mets fan, believe it or not. So I didn't get to see Tommy Terrific play, except when he came back in '83. Tank for the high pick, trade from Malik Willis for the Packers and acquire Bill Belichick. Sent. Sold. Done. All right, guys, we're going to end this. We are going to close this out. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk Fireball, like Big Blue LC. Hope everyone had a good time. It's always fun talking to everyone. Make sure you stay tuned for that new video tomorrow. It's going to talk all about Joe Shane, I believe. And again, this is Tim Straight Talk. I'm out of here. Peace.